3, 2, 1, 0. Go! We are off to the races. rrrrmrmr's got the first one. Okay, they got the first level properly. And we're off. So this one's not too tough if you're comfortable with powered wheels, which I have learned pretty quickly that a lot of our competitors are not comfortable with powered wheels. They have very similar ideas. I was pretty aware this would be the first thing they would try. The angle is a little steep, and then you have to do something at the end for like just a straight ramp. You suck, Pixel. So the angle here is pretty steep. It doesn't necessarily work immediately. If you just do a straight ramp, it might. Let's see how it works for Chickebob. Well, see, Chickebob, he's got his ramp is sort of hanging freely. So it looks like he's going to try something to anchor it a little bit. But yeah, see, it's a little steep, so it kind of falls back on itself if you're not too careful. But they do have kind of the same first idea here. It's just a matter of who can actually make it work. So Chickebob going for adding some purple wheels up top. Which can work, you just have to get everything like positioned pretty evenly. So we'll see how it works for him. rrrrmrmr's design is a little bit neater. The yellow wheels are a little more linear, which will help. Chickebob has got a wobbly design. Hi, pups. Chickebob says, screw it, we're starting over. Not the worst idea. Three levels, Mason. 3 levels back to back to back. This is level 1. Remember, we're gonna use some purple wheels to help move the rectangle along, square, rectangle, whatever you want to call it. It might be a little too low for the rectangle to get through at the moment. Meanwhile, Chickebob says, screw your powered wheels, we're going brown. rrrrmrmr showing that they can make progress with this design. Oh! rrrrmrmr's design showing some promise. That last wheel on the top right is not going anywhere because it's pushed against the ground. So if he lifted that off the ground and added like a blue anchor there, that would probably help a little bit. But he is very close. Chickebob still trying this brown design. It's maybe showing some promise, but lifting a goal piece that big is gonna be a problem. Chloe, Evie, here! My dogs are barking in the background. Let me double check to make sure. Okay, they are deafened, so they can't hear anything I say. So if Chickebob changes up his anchor, he can make that a lot more stable. rrrrmrmr, yeah, it gets a little steep at the end there. He could probably add another purple wheel at the very top of the build area to help with this. Just first to finish all 3. They're gonna go 3 in a row, and first to finish all 3 wins. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, see, that's gonna be tricky for rrrrmrmr. He has a really good idea there with... Yo! Chickebob! Boom! Chickebob is on to level 2. rrrrmrmr is still struggling with level 1. I thought rrrrmrmr would have it more quickly. Because his initial design I liked better. But no, I was wrong. So this level's weird. It can be very easy. But if you don't find a good idea, it can be very hard. So making the levels, it was very easy for me to solve it because obviously like I'm thinking about ways to solve it as I'm building the level. I could see this being a level that trips up the competitors just because it's kind of different, kind of tricky. So we'll see how it goes for Chickebob. He already discovered one thing that I found helpful, which is to put some sort of anchor there to stop the yellow piece in its tracks. It looks like he's trying to position a catapult underneath the wheel and then send something off to catapult it up into the build area. I think if rrrrmrmr put something on the end of his purple wheels on the farthest right, similar to what he has on his left purple wheel to kind of catapult it and push it over to the right, he would be done with this level very soon. So, rrrrmrmr is on to level 2. We are close. Chickebob has a lead. In fact, I thought that was gonna work for Chickebob. It pulled it too far to the left. I see this working eventually for Chickebob. This is not how I solved it, but I totally see this working eventually. rrrrmrmr, starting with a cart. This is interesting. Dude, Chickebob got so close on like the first good pult attempt that he had, and now it's kind of struggling. The long pieces of his chain are kind of a big spaghetti mess that are pushing the pult all around in a not very consistent way. I understand that he likes having the longer chain, but it just totally phased through the ground. Yo, rrrrmrmr is just going with a cart with a pult on the end of it. I'm curious to see how this works. They're both doing something very different from what I did, which is kind of what I love about this game, is infinite possibilities. The way that rrrrmrmr's cart falls all the way like to the right is kind of problematic. That helps. He might need more power on that pult, like a second, or like a third or fourth purple wheel to give it the power it needs. Chickebob is still just hoping for a lucky tweak, it looks like. The way he's got his chain on his weight configured, it's not very consistent how it all unfolds and where the catapult lands on the ground. If you went for a shorter chain, it might be a little less disruptive. But with some of those long pieces of that chain, it just moves it all around like crazy. And he's making like fairly significant changes to where it's not very consistent. So his chain is just too long at this point, honestly. Moving the front wheel forward would help make it less likely for it to fall backwards. And more likely for it. Oh man, Chickebob. His weight might even be too strong. Like it needs to be strong to pull the rope down past the rectangle. Yo, Chickebob. Man, Chickebob can't quite get this thing to work. I thought it was gonna work really soon, but he is having some problems with it. rrrrmrmr, this is interesting. Whoa, okay. I like this cart from rrrrmrmr. I'm a big fan of that design. rrrrmrmr's design looks like something you just like keep Frankensteining pieces on to make it work, but eventually it ends up working. He's adding more power, which is exactly what I want. Yeah, he probably should save, but not that it was working anyways, but I don't know how easy it will be for him to get back into that position. Adding more yellow wheels to try to help push it forward. And it worked. And it worked! rrrrmrmr's on to level 3. rrrmrmr coming from behind off level 1 and moving ahead to level 3. This last level is not too tough. It's fairly straightforward. You just have to get everything in order. So I won't be surprised if rrrmrmr solves it fairly quickly. Yo, what's up, Isaac?
Show me your moves.
All of these sound requests will be on the YouTube video because I did not get rid of them. Wait, can you guys even hear them? I hear them. Hopefully you guys hear them. Okay, good. Oh man, Chickebob is so close, man. I remember starting with a weird bridge. I'm confused about why he's doing this all in one go. Oh, he solved it, and I totally missed it. I see the victory screen, though. We are on to level 3. I knew it was going to work eventually. We got another close match. The match between... Man, rrrmrmr is just... all of his matches are nail biters. His match 1 was close, and now his match 2 is close. rrrmrmr's going to try to use a single bridge for this whole thing, which might end up making the whole thing kind of tweaky. He also doesn't need to drop that bridge as nearly as far as it is being dropped currently. We are on level 3 already. He can shorten that left side of his bridge a lot, and I think it would be very helpful. Chickebob going with a very different approach. Trying to pull this thing all the way from the right. That will not work, rrrmrmr. You've got brown rods crossing over each other. However, if he connects... Oh, I see. This is fine. Again, like his left side of his bridge is still just being dropped down too far, in my opinion. He doesn't need to drop it down that far. Chickebob is trying to use a couple of chains on the end of his like catapult slash bridge. We'll get Marjo on. Oh, and Pika, look at the little slidey bridge. All right, Chickebob is already in the last section. Chickebob got here after rrrmrmr did, got to level 3 after rrrmrmr, but he might be finishing first. It looks like he's starting with a totally separate, independent design for his final pult up to the goal, which is smart. I've been bribed. Bribed by a slidey bridge. The trickiest part here is you don't have a good way of delaying a weight to fall, so you either need to build a platform that a wood weight slides off of, or use wheels of some sort for your weight to slide off, or just have the whole thing be powered from the get-go. I'm guessing Chickebob is going to use solely brown rods. That's my guess here. Is that this is all
barrel roll.
This is all barrel rolls from Chickebob. Interesting. We're into the basket. Chickebob very close. rrrmrmr still struggling to get over that first left side. Oh, there's an interesting way of delaying your weight drop. It might be a little tweaky, but I could see it working. Yep, he's just going to add a few more rods in there to help delay that weight drop. Okay, rrrmrmr is learning that he can shorten the left side of his bridge. I think he can keep shortening it, honestly. He is so close to getting it over. He'll still need to finish with the part 2! Oh my gosh, I thought Chickebob had it! He got the pult, it just didn't quite bring it in. He is so close. Oh, it popped out of his basket. This might be it right here. It's just like, he just needs to keep making small tweaks and eventually it might work. Oh, except now his weight won't drop. This is what I was talking about with that weight being kind of tweaky. Popping out of there. And there it's too early. Oh, man. When I solved this, I made a little wooden platform in the build area for a wooden weight to fall off of. Which, while tweaky, was probably less tweaky than the timer that Chickebob is using.
When he was a young warthog. When I was a young warthog.
We're about 15-ish minutes in. And both of them are kind of stuck on this last level. I think Chickebob will have it soon. rrrmrmr, you can still shorten the left side there quite a bit. Chickebob wins! Chickebob wins it.